I don't feel like doing this right now. I really don't. I don't care to do this right now. Where's Margaret and Tracy? Give me Margaret and Tracy right now in front of me. Give me Margaret and Tracy. I don't feel like doing this. I don't want to do this. Wait, what do you mean I have to do this for my paycheck? I have to do this to get paid? Really? This is stupid. This is so dumb. Okay, fine, whatever. I may have a new king, but what's the tagline again? What's the stupid thing again? Okay. I may have a new king, but this is so dumb. Why do we even need taglines? This is a show. Nobody cares about this. Like, this is stupid. I may have a new king. And you know what? No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. No, this is dumb. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael, and I'm here to review episode 8 of The Real Housewives about to get thrown off a tree of New Jersey. So we start the episode off at Jennifer's house, and she's getting ready for a meetup that she's gonna have with somebody. And then she gets a phone call from Bill, her husband, and he's telling her, oh, you don't have to wait up for me. You don't even have to cook dinner. I'm not even hungry. I'm gonna be at work cheating on you. I'm gonna be at work doing extra paperwork, so I might be home around 1 a.m., 2 a.m., depending on what time the strip club closes. So just don't even wait up on me. And Jennifer is just like, okay, honey, it's fine. And I'm just looking at this like, sure. You know, they always want to say, oh, I'm working late, or I'll be in the office for a little bit longer. Sure. But all right. Bill then asks Jennifer, oh, so what are you doing today? Like, what's going on? Where are you going right now? As if they didn't have a conversation about this 10 minutes ago before the cameras were in their face. But Jennifer, she's just like, you know, Bill, I'm gonna be meeting up with Marge today because I feel really sad about everything that's going on, and you know, the infidelity between me and you and what you did to me 10 years ago. And I really need her to know that she really hurt me. You know, Bill, you know? Hello? Bill? Bill? I guess he's sick and tired of me telling him this over and over and over every single episode. Then we see Margaret at her house, and she's also getting ready, and she's telling her husband Joe that the reason why she's getting ready is because Jennifer actually called her to set up this one-on-one meeting between them to possibly squash the issues going on between them and to maybe move forward with a newfound friendship. But Margaret wants to let Jennifer know that it was never her intention on hurting her emotionally by bringing up her husband's affair from 10 years ago, and that she also wants Jennifer to take accountability for the crappy things that she also says to Margaret. And side note, I love it when Margaret does her hair in that blonde bob cut. I think she looks so pretty when she styles her hair that way. Eventually, they both meet up at this cafe to have this sit down, and Jennifer, she starts off the conversation by telling Margaret, you know what, Marge? You really kicked me in the gut. You kicked me in the gut, Marge, by bringing up the affair that my husband Bill had 10 years ago. You hurt me to the core. You really hurt me emotionally. And before Jennifer could even finish her point of view, Margaret jumped in and she was just like, no, I never said that. I don't know what you're talking about. I never meant to hurt you. I don't know what you're talking about. You're making up stories in your head. No, I never meant to do that. That was never my intention. And I'm just like, Margaret, let the woman finish talking first, and then you could explain your side of the story. Let her finish talking. You see her being vulnerable with you and trying to be emotional with you, but you continue to just cut her off mid-sentence. Just let her finish talking. So Jennifer, she continues talking while Margaret's just sitting there, and she's just like, just really don't know what I'm gonna do with the situation with Bill. You know, like, it's just so hard, everything that we're going through right now at this second. Give me one second. Medium coffee? Yeah, that's my coffee, right? That's my coffee. Thank you so much. Thank you. No, I don't need a creamer. I'm fine. Give me 1 second. Continue, Jennifer. Like I was saying, I think where's it's gonna be so difficult with Bill. He's just not listening to me. You know, all he wants to do is just buy me Chanel earrings, Chanel purses, Chanel outfits, and it's just, that's not enough for me, you know, Marge? It's very difficult. I just want him to be a good husband, you know, and he's just not listening to me at all. He doesn't give me what I need. I don't know, maybe I need to download Tinder. That is terrible, Jennifer, but I just want to let you know that it was never my intention. And I'm like, Margaret, let the woman talk. Like, you're not hearing her out. Eventually, she kind of listened out to Jennifer speak, because Jennifer, she was like on the urge of crying, because Jennifer, she continues saying that, you know, her and Bill, they might go to counseling, but she's afraid that if they do go to counseling, that she might open up her eyes and that she might not want to continue this relationship or marriage with Bill moving forward. Like, she's afraid that she's not going to get over it. She thought she was over it, but obviously she just buried it in the back of her head and ignored it and didn't deal with it properly. So now that she has to deal with it, and now she's forced to deal with it, she doesn't know if she could actually move on from it. Margaret jumped down her throat and she's like, listen to me, you fucking scumbag. You're gonna stay with Bill no matter what. You're not gonna divorce him over this stupid shit, you dumb bitch. You're gonna stay with him no matter what, okay? You better stay with him. Did you hear me? You hear me? Look, I'm shaking you right now. Do you hear me? You're gonna stay with him no matter what. And I'm just like, Margaret, relax. Why are you so upset about it? Just because they go to counseling, that doesn't mean it's like, oh, automatic, everything is fixed, everything is fine, everything is perfect between them. No, some people go through counseling and they realize, you know what? Yeah, this counseling has helped me, but it doesn't mean that we have to stay together. It just means that we have to separate and that I'm not happy in this marriage. Maybe counseling is what's going to take Jennifer to open up her eyes and realize, you know what? I'm actually not happy with this, and I'm not okay with my husband cheating, even if it happened 10 years ago. And that's a valid reason, and it's valid feelings that Jennifer is feeling. So I'm not sure why Margaret was just so tense on saying, oh, no, you're not going to divorce him over this stupid shit. Like, no, this is not stupid it could be stupid to you, but it's not stupid to Jennifer. Obviously, you see what she's been going through. And again, this affair happened 10 years ago, and look how strong she feels about it now. So if she wants to divorce Bill, that is a valid thing that she can do, because again, some people stay together in relationships or in marriages for so long, and they realize in the end, like, wait a minute, I wasn't truly happy. I was just lying to myself. And Jennifer, is better that she realizes it now than later on in life. Jennifer also tells Margaret that she's sorry for the things that she has said to her in the past. And this is one thing that rubs me the wrong way, that every time anybody brings up what Jennifer said to Margaret, they only play the flashbacks of what Jennifer said to Margaret instead of playing it from both sides. Like, if you're going to play Jennifer's part, you're also going to have to play what Margaret said to Jennifer to get that type of reaction. Like, Jennifer has said some low blows to Margaret, but so has Margaret. So you have to play those parts too. So that way the audience isn't looking at Margaret like, oh, poor Margaret, she's just the victim in all of this. No, play what she has said to Jennifer as well. She also said something, what was her comment? The mail order bride. I mean, that was a valid thing too. And we never get any flashbacks of that. We only see flashbacks of Jennifer saying, oh yeah, your mother was fucking somebody for 15 years. But then again, in defense of Margaret, I would have took my gloves off. I would have been like, okay, Jennifer, you want to talk about my mother? Let's talk about the affair that your husband had from 10 years ago, and let me throw that in your face and see how you like it. But I feel like what the issue was between Margaret and Jennifer here is that Margaret didn't underestimate Jennifer crying about this situation. She was just like, oh, you know, me and Jennifer, we always go low blow for low blow. She always says something at me that's 10 times hard. I just throw it right back at her, and that's always been our thing. It's just this time Jennifer is crying about it. So Margaret's just like, wait a minute, I thought she was strong enough to handle anything I throw at her, because I'm strong enough to handle anything that she throws at me. And again, that's always been our thing. So why is she crying about it now? So that's the difference in this situation, because even Jennifer's just like, yeah, I know, you know, in the past I said that. Who cares what anybody says? And they play the flashback of her telling her mother, oh, you know, who cares what anybody thinks or says or anything about me or my family? But in this case, she does care, and she does admit it to Margaret. She's like, well, I do care, and I obviously thought I could handle it before, but obviously I can't, and it's just a whole different situation. So for that, I do give Jennifer points for being honest about it. Like, you know, some people want to say, oh, you know, I don't care what anybody says. Oh, I don't care about this. Oh, no, I'm strong. I'm this, that, and the third. You know, people's words don't get to me. So I'm glad that Jennifer is actually like, no. Your words did bother me. Yes, you're my enemy, but you did beat me in this one. And I just want to tell you that, yeah, it did hurt and it did sting. But Margaret, she's holding her hand. And I like that they kept flashing back down at the table. Like, they were both holding hands, and Margaret's consulting her. And she's like, no, everything is going to be fine. You're going to get through this. And honestly, I want to believe it. I hope that my words doesn't come back to bite me in the ass later on in the episodes or later on in the season or at the reunion. But I want to say that this whole moment was sincere and very sweet, because it was nice to see Margaret's softer side with Jennifer. But part of me in the back of my brain was just like, oh, Jennifer, you're staying and doing way too much in front of Margaret. Like, you're on your knees in front of her. And Margaret, in the back of her head, she's probably like, yep, give me all this ammo, give me all of this power, because I'm going to use this at the reunion. I just feel like they're going to be cool now, and then come to find out at the reunion, which is actually going to be filmed next week, they're going to be back to being enemies. So hopefully they could sustain some type of friendship. And at the same time, I'm looking at Jennifer like, is there more to why you're asking Margaret and Melissa for forgiveness? Because we all know for next season, Jennifer doesn't want to end up on an island by herself to the point where nobody's going to want to film with her, thus kicking her off the show, because Teresa's technically going to be her only alliance if she continues that. And Teresa's kind of halfway in and kind of halfway out of the show already. So Jennifer, she probably sees that like, oh wait, I need to have alliances. I need to have friends on the show to keep me on the show. So let me just make amends with everybody. Jennifer also tells Margaret that she wants Jackie to stop being mad at her for a rumor that she didn't even start on Evan supposedly cheating on her. And Margaret's just like, well, she's not really mad at you for the rumor. She's mad that you went around digging for information on Evan. And Jennifer's like, well, I didn't do it. There was no digging, absolutely no digging. Like, I don't even know how to dig. I don't even know how to hold a shovel. It was not me. I didn't do that. She should be mad at Teresa. So then Margaret, she's like, well, Teresa didn't go around snooping for information on Evan. And then this is where Jennifer put her own foot in her mouth, because she's like, well, how do you know that? I mean, yes, she did. I mean, no, she didn't. Well, no, she didn't. And then Margaret, she caught on to what Jennifer was saying. And she's like, wait, so Teresa was digging information up on Evan? Is that what you're trying to say? And Jennifer, at this point, she had already fucked up because she had already said too much. And Jennifer is just like, no, yeah, no. No, yeah, she did. No, she didn't. No, of course she didn't. No, she didn't. Yeah, she did. No, she didn't. No, she absolutely didn't. Margaret, no, she didn't. Yes, she did. And I'm just like, Jennifer, see, you just threw Teresa underneath the bus just because you were being vulnerable in front of Margaret. You opened up your mouth too much. And then, again, Margaret, she had already caught on to what you were saying. Even if you were trying to backpedal and trying to lie yourself out of it, she had already caught on, like, yeah, Teresa did open up her mouth. So now she's going to tell the rest of the group. So eventually, Jennifer and Margaret, they kind of squashed it out. She's like, okay, I don't want any more fighting between the group until season 13 or the reunion. So let's just keep it at that. So eventually they walk out, they go outside, and then they hug and they have this cute moment. And Margaret's just like, I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you or anything with the whole rumor. Not the rumor, the whole cheating thing with your husband from 10 years ago. I never meant to hurt you. They hug it out. And Jennifer, she's like, I really need a friend right now. Not only on Facebook, I don't need Facebook friends, but I need an actual friend in person. And Margaret's just like, well, you got it, until the reunion, but you got it. And they hug it out. And again, I thought it was a cute moment. I thought it was sincere. For now, I mean, I know they're gonna make me eat my words later on, but for now, it was cute. So then we get Dolores and Frank. And Dolores, she gives us an update on her mom and how she's doing much better after the surgery and how she just wants her to be a little bit more active moving forward. So they're out here shopping for clothes for her. And Frank, he tells Dolores that he's actually been in contact with David and he's actually been mentioning Dolores in their conversation. And Dolores is like, wait, what? He's actually talking about me? That's shocking because we all know that David refused to talk to Dolores. And Frank, he's like, I feel like this whole avoiding Dolores thing is just a defense mechanism for him to try to get over this breakup. And honestly, after looking at it from that perspective, I can see where David's coming from in a way. Yes, it may seem cold that he refuses to talk to Dolores or refuses to acknowledge her in any type of way, but sometimes in relationship, that's the best way to get over somebody. In a way, it's not the best way for both parties, but if it's okay for one person, then it is what it is. Just because you want closure doesn't mean that the other person has to give you that type of closure just because you want it or you want it in this type of way. You know, maybe avoiding somebody or trying to like kind of distance yourself from them is the best way to get over a relationship or a breakup. So maybe that's what David's doing. Yes, it seems a little bit mean in Dolores's part and from her perspective, and besides, I feel like Dolores and Frank are eventually going to come in full circle and get back together. It's only a matter of time. Then we find out through Margaret that Tracy texted her and the rest of the group inviting them out to this event that she's having out in the middle of the woods. And I'm just like, look at Tracy actually doing something on the show. Okay, I'll give you 2 points. I'll give you 2.5 points, Tracy. I see you trying to secure your meatball for next season. I'll give you that. But apparently her event that she's having is out in the middle of the woods. That's red flag number 1. But the red flag number 2 is that it's a trusting thing. And you know these women hate each other. So absolutely not. That's red flag number 2. And red flag number 3 is that the event is like this course that they're having in the middle of the air connected to trees that you have to walk blindfolded on these little planks. You have to basically have somebody else instruct you from the group. Basically, like if Melissa's telling me like, oh, walk forward or make a right or make a left, that's what you have to do. So I don't know. It was just so many red flags in that event. But okay, Tracy, do whatever you got to do to secure your spot for next season. I did the event. I did something similar like this. And trust me, it was so scary. It looks fun. Like you think like, oh, this is nothing. This isn't scary. But once you're up there, it's like you're on top of Mount Everest or something. It is so scary. I'll put a picture up here. I almost cried. Like I was such a big baby doing it, but I completed it kind of. Then we get, what's her name? Jackie at her house with Evan, and she's taking out a bunch of clothes, and she's like, oh, to her daughter. She's like, oh, go try these on. And then she gives her the clothes, and I hear what Jackie said. She was like, oh, I'm glad that she's skinny enough to actually fit my clothes. And I'm just like, Jackie, I hope you're not projecting your issues that you're having with yourself onto your family or specifically to your daughter. I hope you don't see her the same way, like, oh, I hope my daughter doesn't gain weight, or I hope she stays skinny forever. I hope that that's not the mentality you have. Then we get an update on the doctor that she went to go see a couple episodes ago that requires Jackie to stay at this facility 3 to 4 nights a week for her eating disorder treatment, and she refuses to do it. She's like, no, I'm not doing it. I have a family. I have children to take care of. They need me. That is time taken away from them. And I'm looking at Jackie like, Jackie, your lifespan is going to be cut short if you don't go and get the treatment that you need. And what does that mean? You're not going to be there for your family. You're not going to be there with your children. That time that you're crying about that you could be taken off to go get treatment now, you're not going to have a choice in the future anymore because it's going to be too late. So which one would you rather do? Would you rather sacrifice the time time that you could be spending with your family on purpose in order to get help for yourself to live a longer life? Or would you want to let life make that choice for you and take it away from you? You have to think about it in the long run, Jackie. Like, yes, it may be difficult to be away from your children and your family for like a short period of time, but that short period of time is all you're gonna need to get the treatment to live a longer life with your family. So think of it like that. And even Evan called it out and was just like, yeah, Jackie's in complete denial. And I hope that he continues pushing Jackie to go to this facility and he just doesn't sit back on his ass. And he's like, you know what? She wants to be home taking care of the children and I don't want to have responsibility over the house and the dishes and the children. So you know what? If she wants to stay home, she could do whatever she wants. And I just hope that that's not the case. And I hope he continues pushing her to get help, because this is your wife. And Jackie, this is your life. This is not a joke. This is do or die, and your life is on the line. Then we head over to Melissa's house, which by the way was her birthday yesterday. So happy birthday, Melissa. But she's in the kitchen cooking something up, and we see Josephine and one of the boys outside playing football. Melissa, I'm looking at her, I'm like, oh, what is she making to eat? I know it's probably gonna be something good. What is it? What is it? What is it? Come to find out, it's some dry ass salad. I'm like, this is what we're having after playing football? Okay, Melissa, it is what it is. So she goes outside and she's talking with Josephine. They're both talking about their daughter Antonia, who seems like they're going through a stage of depression right now because A, they just switched schools and they lost all their friends from their previous school, and B, she got an injury that stopped her from cheering, something that she loves. So of course she doesn't really want to talk about it with nobody, especially to the two people, her parents, her mom and dad, that forced her to move out of the school. That's a whole different change that a teenager just cannot be happy with right away. So of course she's not going to want to talk to Melissa or Josephine, but Melissa, she insists on making it about herself. And she's just like, well, when I was younger, I was a pusher. I was a pusher, Katie. And I want to push her to push herself to be a pusher as well, the way her mom was a pusher. And I'm like, Melissa, we're not making this about you. The way you handled your life and your life struggles back in your day, it's a whole different ball game now with Antonia. You can't expect her to be the same way that you were. Maybe get her some counseling and some therapy, and then she'll slowly open up to you emotionally. But the way you're trying to pound it out of her, that's not going to work either, especially if Antonia is mad at you and Joe for switching her out of high schools. So Melissa tells Josephine, oh, well, you know what? I'm invited to this event that Tracy, Tracy, the mistress, I'm invited to her event that she's having out in the woods, which is kind of creepy, but I'm still going to go. And Jennifer's going to be there. And that's going to be the first time that we're all together. But you know what? After talking to Margaret, I just feel like Jennifer's influence and everything that she's been going through with Bill, I feel like maybe that's why she's been coming at me and you like this. So, I'm going to give it a shot. And then Josephine takes a dig at Jennifer and he's just like, well, who knows? I mean, I don't know. Maybe everything that she's going through is just karma. And I'm just like, oh, Josephine, like, you see, this is why Jennifer's going to call you a little bitch girl again in the future. We head over to Jennifer's house and she's in the back patio with Bill, her husband, and the children who are making a mess all over the floor and leaving food all over the place. And Bill, he has the nerves and the audacity to not only cheat on Jennifer, but to tell her, oh, Jennifer, by the way, you should tell the children that they should clean up after themselves. And I'm looking at Bill like, first of all, you vampire, who the fuck are you? Like, first of all, aren't you also their dad? Like, shouldn't you also have 50% of that responsibility to tell your children, your own children, hey, by the way, you should clean this mess up or else I'm not going to give you your $10,000 allowance next week. Like, you should clean this up. Why does Jennifer have to do that? Why does the responsibility need to fall on her shoulders? I thought that was a little bit weird. I'm like, all right, Jennifer, I mean, I'm not sure how much more you're willing to take from this man, but that was like red flag number 3 already. But okay, so then they sit down to have a conversation. It was pretty awkward at first. You could tell that Bill is just very uncomfortable being in front of the cameras after his secret was exposed by Margaret. And Jennifer's just like, so I talked to Margaret or whatever, she was very, sorry for what she did or whatever. And we kind of let everything go and we're kind of best friends again. I follow her on Instagram and she liked one of my pictures from last week. And I don't know, I might post her on my story. What do you think? And Bill is just like, oh, well, so what? So everything is okay between you and that's it? Like, all she has to say is that she's sorry and that's that. And Jennifer's just like, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, she followed me on Twitter too. I don't know. What do you want me to do? Like, make her follow me on TikTok? I don't know. What else do you want me to do? And Bill is just like, well, I mean, that's cute and all for you and Margaret, but for me, no, I'm not doing it. I don't want to be around these people. I'm not doing it. No. I don't want to be around anybody who disrespected me. I just feel disrespected. And I mean, I guess I understand it. He's not Jennifer. He's his own person. He could feel whatever he feels. But at the same time, Bill, by you not wanting to film with anybody, that's also going to get your wife, get the boot from this show. So Jennifer, Jennifer was just like, well, I mean, I appreciate that you were defending me on guys' night. I appreciate that. But I just want you to defend me a little bit more. And Bill is just like, okay, well, I mean, I tried to defend you, but I mean, I don't know what else you want me to do. And I'm just like, wow, Bill, I mean, have some type of emotion. Bill is just so cold. Jennifer, if I was you, leave him. Like, as soon as possible. But I don't know, maybe Bill is just not comfortable going through all of this in front of the cameras. I feel like maybe Jennifer just needs to take this whole situation and maybe deal with it off of camera, because the more she puts the camera in his face, the more uncomfortable it is. Because Jennifer, obviously, she's open to have whatever type of conversation when it deals with her emotions or her life, but Bill is obviously not the same person. So, I mean, I don't know. They both kind of just looked at each other like, okay, so what are we going to do now? It was just very, very awkward. It just further proves my point on Bill keeping Jennifer quiet after the affair for all these years by buying her Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all the lavish lifestyle that he brought to her. It just goes to show you that even with all of that, Jennifer is still unhappy on the inside. And Bill, he just doesn't know what to do anymore, because he thought like, wait a minute, I thought I bought my love. I thought I brought my forgiveness. What's going on here? What can I buy next to further prove that I'm sorry? And again, that's not what she wants. What did Jennifer Lopez say? Love don't cost a thing. I mean, it does in my world. But to Jennifer, obviously, no, it doesn't. Like, she just wants the time and attention and the care and the effort for you to put into this marriage. But it seems like Bill just does not care. He could either take it or leave it. And if I was Jennifer, I would take it and put it in a bag and leave. We head back over to Jackie's house, and her children open up the door for Margaret. And as they realize it's Margaret coming in, they're hiding behind the door as if she's the Wicked Witch of the East, because they were looking so petrified. Like, Margaret leans in to say hi, and they're just like, don't touch us, don't breathe around us, just go. Our mom is in the kitchen. Go, go, go. Eventually, Margaret and Jackie, they head to the back patio. Jackie's filling Margaret in on the treatment that she was talking about earlier with Evan that she doesn't want to do. She's like, no, I'm not doing this whole recovery thing that I have to be at this place for 3 days a week. I'm not doing that. And Margaret's just like, Jackie, but I want you to live 60 more years. Like, what's going on here? Like, you need to get some type of treatment. But she also doesn't want to be too pushy on Jackie. But Jackie's just like, I've been living this long, so I'm just going to take it one step at a time. And I'm looking at Jackie like, yes, you've been living this long, but you haven't been living peacefully. You've been struggling with living. So I don't think that that's the best mentality to have, Jackie. Meanwhile, over at Dolores' house, she's there with Jennifer. Teresa comes over. She's like, oh, Dolores, what's going on with your mom? How is she? Dolores is just like, oh, she's fine now. She was in the ICU. And then Teresa. I mean, I know what she was trying to say, I think, but she was just like, oh, really? I like it when they're in the ICU. You know, it hurts me to see her be so dumb. Like, Teresa, okay, fine. I mean, I understood what she was trying to say, kind of. But they sit around, they're talking. Dolores is just like, oh, yeah, everything with David. I finally saw him at the hospital. It was pretty awkward. But, he decided to, actually have my mom live with him. And I'm looking at this like, wait. Hold on, Dolores. So he doesn't want to talk to you, but he wants to have your mom live with him? David, I have a couple questions. And I'm going to start with this one. I'm just curious. Are you fucking Dolores' mom? Because I don't know. Something about that is just very interesting. I mean, yes, I get it. You may have some connection with Dolores' mom, but damn, to have her live with you? Like, at this point, I feel like he's just trying to be spiteful with Dolores for some reason. I'm not sure, because to do all of that, but I'm not sure. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that he's just being nice? I don't know. But meanwhile, back over at Margaret and Jackie's, Margaret is telling Jackie about her meetup with Jennifer, everything that's been going on with that, and how they're fine, and how Jennifer said that, yeah, I did hurt her a lot emotionally with everything I said to her about the affair, but now we're good now. But you want to know something now, Jackie? You want to know some tea that Jennifer actually spilled by accident? You want to know? So guess what? She said that Teresa was the one snooping around. Yeah, it wasn't Jennifer. It was Teresa. And Jackie, she was like, oh, what? Are you serious? What? But let somebody go snooping around Louis or Teresa's relationship with him. And all of a sudden, she's ready to like go off on anybody. And I'm like, yeah, Jackie does make a good point with that. Because if Teresa did snoop around on Evan or the relationship with Jackie, it is kind of hypocritical. This is why it's so hard for me to feel bad for anybody on this cast. Because all of you do stuff like this behind each other's back and then expect your own relationship or your own marriage to be clean. Back over at Dolores' house, Jennifer is filling them in on the conversation that she had with Margaret at the beginning of the episode, and she's like, everything is fine between us. It was just a little interesting how Margaret was telling me that Tiki was questioning Louis about some allegations or whatever, and Teresa, she became a hothead in 2 seconds because she's like, yeah, I don't understand why he's questioning anything with me, or his little girlfriend or his little wife is questioning anything about me. And then she finally brings it up. Finally, it only took 8 episodes for anybody to mention it. She's like, you know what? I don't question how they got together. I heard that she was the nanny when he was with his ex-wife, and that's how they got together, allegedly. And I don't question anything, so why should they question me? And I'm just like, well, I mean, she does make a good point, but at the same time, Teresa, you also like to question other people's marriages as well. So your marriage or relationship with Louis doesn't, get a clean slate or anything just because you wanted to. It's finally time for Tracy's event that's taking place in the woods, and Melissa's the first one to show up, followed by Jackie, Margaret, and Dolores. And of course, Margaret starts running her mouth, and she's like, oh, guess what? By the way, I was talking to Jennifer, and she's going through it, and she said that I hurt her a lot, like by saying what I said about the affair that Bill had. But guess what? She actually said that it was Teresa who put her on trying to get some information on Evan, your husband, Jackie. So what do y'all have to say about that? And of course, everybody was just like, wait, what? What's going on? Dolores, she was also shocked about it because Dolores was just telling Jennifer a second ago at her house. She was like, oh, Jennifer, you do go around snooping around for other people's information, which, by the way, I did like that because Dolores, you can question other friends if they're doing something shady that you don't agree with, which, by the way, I don't understand Teresa's mentality at Dolores' place when she was just like, oh, real friends don't question other friends. And I'm like, Teresa, what kind of friendships do you want? She just wants people that bow down to her and don't question anything in her life at all. I mean, that's just not how friendships work. Of course, if people are genuinely concerned about you, they're going to have questions. But Teresa, it just seems like she does not want any type of question. Even if everything is falling apart in her life and we can all see it, she does not want anybody questioning it. But let it be the other way around. She has 101 questions for you and your partner and what's going on in your marriage. But Dolores, she's just like, oh, really? Wow. I mean, I don't know. She's coming in hot today. I know she's coming after you, Margaret. And Tracy, she's coming after you too. She's coming in hot for both of you. And you could tell that Tracy was scared again by just standing there. She was probably like, what? She's coming after me? No, I didn't do anything to her. I'm not scared. No. Somebody please call extra security, like stand by. We're in the middle of the woods. Like, who knows if anybody could hear me scream. But yeah, no, I'm not scared of Teresa. And then Jennifer, she shows up, and Melissa, all of a sudden she wants to have sympathy for Jennifer. And I just want to know, would Melissa have extended her hand to Jennifer had she not made up with Margaret? I'm like, please don't try to follow Margaret in her footsteps. Like, Melissa, if you genuinely feel sorry for Jennifer, do it out of the kindness of your heart, not just because your friend Margaret made up with her and now you feel like you need to be a part of that clique. And she's like, Jennifer, can I pull you to the side? Come over here. And Jennifer is just like, okay, sure, whatever. And Melissa's just like, you can talk to me about anything, right? I'm always here for you. I have a shoulder for you to cry on. Maybe not this shoulder because this is my shopping bag shoulder, but I'm always here for you, Jennifer. I'm always here for you. I know we had our differences, but you know what? I'm willing to let it go if it means that I get to stay on the show for another season and struggle with having a storyline. What do you say? And Jennifer's just like, you know what? I will really like that. But again, I will hope that it's genuine. But Melissa, you just so happen to all of a sudden see the light and found sympathy for Jennifer now that you see that Margaret and her made up. How convenient is that? And in this corner, we have Teresa showing up with a bunch of bags that she claims are gifts for the other women with her fitness line in it. But I don't believe it. I think it's a bunch of dumbbells inside each bag, and she's just using it as weight practice. Like, okay, I need to get my muscles up because I'm probably going to swing on Margaret and I'm probably going to swing on Tracy. I don't know who I'm going to swing on first, but I know that both of them are getting it. And if I was Margaret or Tracy, I would have picked up the nearest branch. Like, let me pick this up and hide it right behind me. Oh, hey, Teresa. Hey, oh my God, you have a gift for me? That is so cute. How are you? It's so nice to see you. Don't fucking try me, bitch, because I have a tree branch right behind me. Like, absolutely not. Like, I don't know how Teresa moves, and we're in the middle of nowhere in the woods. No. She could try anything, but Teresa, she was just not in the mood. She's like, oh, we need to go up the fucking tree, fucking stupid tree. Why is the tree brown? Why are the leaves green? Why is the sky blue? Everything is fucking stupid here. Like, why are we on the ground? Oh, this is so stupid. Oh my God, this is so dumb. Melissa, why are you still on the show? You should have been kicked off 3 seasons ago. Oh my God, like, I can't stand anything. And everybody's just like, okay, so I mean, we're gonna try to go up here. The instructor is just like, okay, so I'm gonna teach everybody what to do. I believe it was Melissa that breaks the news to Teresa. She's just like, okay, so we're all gonna have to be paired up. And Teresa's just like, who the fuck is my partner? Who's my partner here? Who is my partner here? God, oh my God, somebody please tell me who my partner is. Like, she was just going all over the place. You would think that one of the women slept with Louis the way she was acting. Tracy's like, I'm your partner, Teresa. And Teresa's like, oh, okay. Okay, fine, it's whatever. And I think Margaret, she made a joke or a comment about Teresa's lip gloss. She's like, oh, hopefully all the bugs don't go over to Teresa's lips because she's wearing her lip gloss. And Teresa could not take the joke. She was like, what the fuck did you say about my lip gloss? You want to fight, you said? You want to swing on me? What the fuck did you say? What did you say about my lip gloss? And I'm like, Teresa. Like, relax, Miss Patterson, relax. Like, she was so all over the place. So they went and did the chorus. You know, they had to do it blindfolded, which I'm not sure whose idea that was. I think it was Tracy's, but absolutely not. I wouldn't do it because I'll be too paranoid. Like, 1 second I'm walking on the plank and the next second Melissa just orders me to fall down. Like, nope, 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 nope. So Teresa, she's just pacing around all over the place. I mean, she was just all over the place. This is so stupid. Why are we in the middle of a forest? This is not safe. Like, what kind of activity is this? Who does this? No, this is stupid. What, you want us to climb trees? What are we, Tarzan? No. Tracy, what is this? Like, what's going on here? You don't have a higher budget? You don't have more money to give us a fancier activity? This is so stupid. But you want to talk about my boyfriend behind my boyfriend's back, about my boyfriend, about my relationship? No, it's not happening. I'm not doing this. This is so stupid. This is so dumb. She was being such a negative Nancy and throwing subliminals at Tracy and Margaret by saying, well, two people here love talking about me behind my back and about my relationship and about my boyfriend, and I just want to get to the bottom of it, and nobody better even put me up on the tree because I'm tempted to throw somebody off it. And if I was Tracy or Margaret, I would have been like, okay, do it. I want to see you do it. Go ahead, do it. Let's go off the tree. Let's go. You first. Let's go. I want to see you throw me off the tree. Because absolutely not. Like, Teresa is not going to intimidate me. Just because you have a past of flipping tables and throwing drinks doesn't mean I'm going to be scared of you, especially at my own event. I mean, I know Tracy was probably shaking in her boots and in her pigtails, but she was probably like, you know what? I think I could secure my meatball for next season by going toe to toe with Teresa. Jackie and Dolores are surprisingly getting along, and Dolores blames it on both of them just being very similar to each other because they both just want peace within the group, so I'll give them that. Meanwhile, Margaret and Tracy are talking to Jennifer up on the tree branch, and Margaret, she's trying to make Jennifer flip on Teresa by whispering in her ear. She's like, oh, well, you know what? It was pretty messed up what Teresa did. I mean, she kind of let you take the fall for something that she did. She was the one snooping around on Evan, and it wasn't really you, and look, she didn't stick up for you, and now everybody had their finger pointed at you. Don't you think it's kind of messed up? And Jennifer's just like, well, yeah, she's not really there for me the way I kind of want her to be. But I mean, I still enjoy her company. And I'm like, it's so interesting how you just let Teresa go with that. But you want it from your husband. You should want it from everybody, Jennifer, not just your husband. You should also want that type of loyalty from your friends as well. You can't just let Teresa just, oh, she's on fire, so I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just going to, sit back over here and relax with Louie. Teresa's trying not to burst the vein in her neck. So she walks over to Jackie and Dolores and she's like, I really can't believe what Margaret did to Jennifer by letting the cat out the bag about Bill and his affair from 10 years ago. And Jackie's just like, Margaret didn't really do anything. We all found out because of Bill. Now, to us, the audience, or at least to me, I found out because of Margaret, not necessarily because of Bill. So I'm assuming that the cast already knew about this affair. It's just nobody really stooped that low besides Margaret to actually put it out there for everybody to know on camera. So Teresa's like, no, Jackie, Margaret let the cat out the bag. And I wanted to jump into the conversation like, first of all, nobody let the cat out the bag. Bill put his dick inside the cat that he wasn't even married to. So then Margaret, she hears them talking and she's like, can both of you shut it right now? Because Jennifer's trying to do the obstacle course. Can both of you be quiet? And Teresa, that's all she needed as ammo because she's like, oh, you're telling us to be quiet? Well, you said it. You're the one that put it out there, right? About Jennifer. So Margaret's just like, well, me and Jennifer, we already kind of squashed everything. So we're fine. And Jennifer's just like, yeah, we're fine. I'm like, Jennifer, stay up on the branch. She's adding her 2 cents in. And I mean, yeah, I agree with Margaret because if Margaret and Jennifer are okay, why is Teresa so hot and bothered about the situation that's already fixed between them? I mean, Teresa, you're upset at Margaret because she was questioning you about Louie. She was questioning Louie and these allegations. You're not really upset because of Jennifer. So stop trying to use that as an excuse. So Teresa's like, oh, well, you look like shit. You look like shit, Margaret. And Margaret, she doesn't back down to her. And she's like, well, you look like shit too. And I'm like, wow, Margaret, you better pick up a rock. Because Teresa's about to come after you. You know, you're in the middle of the woods, nowhere. The police, I'm not sure how long they will take to get here. But Teresa's like, well, you look like shit. You look like shit. You've been looking like shit. So Margaret, she's like, well, you look like shit since last year. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, yikes. You know, at least I can appreciate that with Margaret. She doesn't back down to Teresa because Teresa, she always assumes that everybody's going to be scared of her and everybody needs to bow down to her. And that's what I could appreciate from Margaret. She's going to go one-on-one with Teresa and she's not scared of her. So Teresa, she runs down the hill and you know Tracy was up on the obstacle course like, oh my God, I'm not coming down there. You know what? I'm going to do the obstacle course like 10 more times. Like, yeah, I'm going to do it 10 more times because I'm not going down there. I don't know what she's going to do to me. So Tracy, she stays up there. Teresa, she runs up on Margaret and the new friend of the show pops up and it's Miss To Be Continued again for the 100th time this episode. But what do y'all think? I mean, I saw the preview for next week, and Teresa, she runs up on Margaret. She starts yelling at her, and then she gets it on with Tracy, and Tracy tries to go back and forth with her from what I saw on the commercial. So, and that was the episode, everybody. What did y'all think? And do you think that Jennifer and Margaret are gonna stay friends? Do you think that this is just something for now, and then at the reunion next week, they're gonna go back to butting heads? Do you think that she'll also stay friends with Melissa? What do y'all also think about Teresa versus Tracy? Do you think that Teresa's being a hypocrite? Do you think she's okay with defending Louis? What do y'all think? Also, there was some news going around on Louis online that I saw earlier that he owes people a lot of money, allegedly. So, I mean, Teresa, I don't know about that prenup. I think you should get that ASAP. But let me know what y'all thought about this episode down in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everybody. Mwah.